What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of FAQ Interaction, where we answer your questions. And once again, it is a pleasure to be here in your reality. So let's just jump in, right? Let's answer some questions. First question. With your point about accents in the riff, have you ever found that conical cymbals helpful for counting out complicated rhythms and accents? Thanks. Finding maybe difficult subdivisions or difficult rhythms to internalize, I find them useful because it helps you verbalize your rhythm. And I'm a stout believer that if you can't actually sing or verbalize a riff, a melody, a solo, a vocal line, anything like that, you'll never actually be able to perform it with confidence, convictions, and really emotion, right? So these types of things help you internalize rhythms and verbalize rhythms, and this way you can kind of, apply them to the guitar. And if you're unfamiliar with this is with breaking down each syllable of a rhythm, right? Here in Western music we do 1 and 2 and or 1E enda, 2E enda. It's similar. The conical rhythms are like, so 16th notes would be takatimi, 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 right? And they have for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all of them. And it really helps some complicated rhythms and tuplets, right? 7 notes per beat, stuff like that. It really helps internalize and helps you vocalize these rhythms, okay? Great question. So they can be very helpful. Oh, so is this what it's called? I thought it's called fucking around with feedback. I guess he was actually a musical genius who took jazz lessons. The guy had no damn musical knowledge, period. He just knew what sounded good. This is a really funny comment, and I see this a lot on this particular video. So about 2 years ago, I did a video about Kurt Cobain unites grunge and jazz players, and it was just a fun thought experiment where we can take a jazz progression, kind of reharmonize it to make it sound like grunge riffs, right? Or a grunge type Nirvana to riff. And that's really all it was. I never stated that this is what Cobain did or this is what Cobain knew. I never implied that he was a jazz musician in any way. But yet I get tons of comments just like this. Cobain didn't know anything. This is not what he did. This is not how he wrote songs. I know. It was just a fun experiment, and it can unite, the guys with ripped jeans drinking over there to the jazz players smoking their hipster cigars over there. Come together. It's all music. Have some good fun, right? So it was just a fun thought experiment. So no. Was he a jazz musician? No. Was he a good songwriter? Yes. He was a fan of John Lennon, knew how to craft a song in the style that resonated with him, which was that all grunge sound, that extreme form of expression, but he still wrote really good songs, regardless of how easy or trashy you might think it sounds. So again, it was just a fun thought experiment. I'm not trying to say that that's what Cobain did and that's what Cobain used, okay? But the video will be somewhere. Maybe I already linked it already, maybe not. If so, watch it, have a good time. Next question. So let me ask you one more thing if I could. Would you have any recommendation on an amp? I don't need anything too crazy, just something good. Maybe that gives me a few different sound options. Looking to spend a couple hundred, nothing too nuts, but yeah, if you have any suggestions, I'd love to hear them. I have a small crate box amp and just know I need something new. This is a really good question, and this comes from one of the people I'm connected with on my Axe Facebook page, and he shot me a message. We were talking about Adam Jones and some Tool sounds, so he's looking for a new amp, and I get this a lot. Can you recommend an amp? Can you recommend an amp? Honestly, what's in your budget? Does it have distortion? Then you can most likely dial in a good enough tone to jam out some Tool, right? Will it be the most ideal thing to record a record with? Probably not. Could you jam with some friends? Yeah. Could you play a show? Yes. Okay? Anything with a good hard rock distortion. PV, the Black Star stuff, Orange amps, their 120 solid state amp is great bang for the buck, and you can dial in a pretty good sound, throw in some chorus and delay pedals, and you'll be good to go. You can make it through. If you want lots of different sound options, you can look at, I know Black Star has some modeling ones just with different sound options. Obviously the Line 6 stuff, which is great for practicing. I know everyone hates on it, but whatever. If you're just sitting at home playing, you can get plugins. There's lots of different options out there, and they give you all the sounds and effects that you want. Alright, so I never just drop, get this amp, get that amp. It's really what's in your budget. Go to the store. Does it sound good? tinker with the sounds, dial it in. That's the best I can tell you. If you want to go, you know, super high budget, which I know you don't, you know, like KSR amps are phenomenal. They give you everything from screaming leads and metal rhythms to beautiful clean Fender sounds. So I love their amps and it's MIDI control, and you're dropping a couple grand, but you'll never need another amp. Obviously that's not this situation, but you know, you have to weigh your options and invest wisely for your situation. So awesome question, guys. As always, let's keep it going down in the comments. Leave me your questions. Let's talk about some gear. Let's talk about music theory. You guys see anything on YouTube that you like? Whatever, let's talk about it. Alright, so as always, let me know what you're coming out with. And until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.